deserts, not to be mistaken by food deserts. No, this is a food desert, defined as an area that has limited access to healthy and quality food, and their nearest grocery stores are usually a mile or further away. This issue widely affects certain regions in America, regions as far as California to Louisiana. One particular area that is locally affected is Oak Park. I first heard about this issue through my sister. She was talking to my father about her Intro to Human Services class that she was taking at the time. She was saying that there was a story of a woman that lives in a food desert in South Memphis. The stores that they had around her were just liquor stores, and all they had to offer was junk food and tobacco.
My name is Irma Garcia, and I am a preschool teacher who's currently studying social services at American River College. I am planning on transferring to Sac State to further my education and study more on family and human development.
In contrast to food deserts, there are food oases, which are areas with an abundance of access to supermarkets filled with great quality food at an affordable price. These stores would be most commonly known as Trader Joe's, Safeway, Whole Foods, etc.
But the reason there aren't fresh foods in those communities is because it's grocery stores that don't want to invest in those communities that don't have, they're not communities that they will thrive on. The grocery stores will want to build in Land Park or in North Natomas, in communities where people have money. So that's why these grocery stores are just not there's very few in poor communities, because, if there's not a lot of money in the community, then they're not going to expect a lot of profit.
There are many struggles in this concept, and many aren't aware and do nothing to change this homogenized issue. It is said that this is part of the systemic oppression in areas that have low-income housing. According to foodispower.org, the main ethnicities affected by food deserts are Native American youth and African American and Latinos of all age groups, with these groups suffering disproportionately at higher rates of type 2 diabetes compared to whites. With this said, it's just proof that it targets certain ethnicities of color.
Food hoarding can also perpetuate this obesity in these communities are already experiencing from eating over processed foods. And it's a vicious cycle. In a way, it keeps people poor because they are not really running on good fuel to think better, which affects every aspect of their lives. So with understanding that, it seems like an obvious thing that if you want a solution to food deserts, you would offer cleaner or fresher food to those poorer communities.
There are many times that people in these neighborhoods don't have their own cars, so they use the bus to get from home to their grocery stores. This can take a lot longer than to simply drive over to a store, so imagine being dependent on public transportation during a pandemic.
In human service class that I took, that I first heard about food deserts, I learned that individuals who live with food insecurity tend to binge eat or they food hoard. What this means is because they don't know when their next meal will be, they will overeat to prevent hunger later, or they store a lot of food to prevent from feeling food insecurity later. And it's not only the health concern, but it's a psychological one, like I emphasized earlier.
Food truly is key to life. It genuinely is and affects every aspect of life, from our economy to our health to our performance in life. Food is the root of our economic problems as it affects any race and any class. Food is fuel for our health. If we run on cheap fuel, then we won't give our best potential. And if we don't feel our best, we will overall have a hard time to, quote unquote, make it in life. So yes, this is a food crisis and it affects many factors in life.
So essentially, the poorest communities, the communities that need the most support, are the ones that are being deprived of the foods that will allow them to lead healthier lives, which change not only one's physical health, but also mental.
Because this problem is deeply rooted into many aspects of our society, it's difficult to find a single solution to this problem. Many things would have to change. The way that we are systemically structured, because these communities are being deprived of their basic human rights, and the one thing that they are asking for is not a luxury, but it's a basic necessity, and it's just a grocery store to feed their families. As simple as it is, it's what communities need.
Overall, I hope that what you can get from this is simply awareness and become more involved in your community in order to reduce food deserts one by one. Food insecurity is a worldwide problem and we need to take action.
I'm sure this issue would be new to many people, and so thank you.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.